Good morning, students of class 7. Today we will be studying the first chapter of physics, that is measurement. And in this chapter we will be studying what is measurement, what is the definition of unit and standard unit. Then we will be revising some of the basic parameters to calculate the length, mass and time and temperature. Then measurement of area of regular shapes and area of irregular shapes. Okay, so before we start the definition of measurement, now why is measurement necessary in our day-to-day life? That you have already studied in your previous class. Why is measurement necessary? To take out, suppose you want to find out that what is the time calculated or what is the time taken for you to come to the school from your home. So how do you find out? You find out at what time you are starting from the home and what time you are reaching the school. And then you find the difference of the two times. So this gives you the duration of how much time it takes for you to come to the school. In the same way, this is the measurement of time. So the measurement of time is necessary. Why? To calculate how much time you take to reach the school, so that you can depart from that particular time from your home. So this is the importance of measurement. Suppose you want to know how much cloth is needed to make the dress of your school uniform. So that much cloth you will buy from the shop, so that you can give it to the tailor. So this is the measurement of length. In this way, so whenever your parents or you are going to the market to buy, suppose potato, so you are asking the shopkeeper to give 1 kilo, 2 kilo, whatever the weight of the potato you need. So that is the measurement of mass of the potato. So in this way, you need measurement in every day-to-day activities in your life. So this is the importance of measurement. Measurement means you are comparing a known physical quantity with an unknown physical quantity with a known physical quantity. Suppose you want to measure the length of this duster. So this is unknown to you. The length of the duster is unknown to you. Okay. Now, how will you measure the length of the duster? You are taking a scale or a ruler. What is there in the ruler? In the ruler, there are the measurements given in the ruler, that is in centimeter or millimeter. You are keeping over here, you are measuring the length of this, the dimension of this duster. So the ruler is the thing, or the ruler is the object in which the centimeters or millimeters are marked. A scale is the thing, object where the millimeters or centimeters are marked, and that is used to measure the duster, that is used to measure the length of the duster. So the scale is the known fixed quantity of the object which is used to measure the length, and this duster is the unknown object which is used to measure the length of the duster. So measurement is the process of comparing. What is measurement? Measurement is the process of comparing an unknown quantity with a known fixed quantity. That I have shown you with an example. So this is a physical quantity, this is an object whose length you need to measure. Okay. So and that is done with the help of unit. What do you mean by unit? Unit, if you want to measure anything, length, or you want to measure mass, or you want to measure temperature, time, whatever you want to measure, that is given in particular unit. What do you mean by unit? Unit is nothing but this unit is nothing but which defines the physical quantity which is accepted by all the scientists all over the world, which is used for the measurement. So suppose you are having a quantity, physical quantity, whose magnitude is, suppose, 2 millimeters. The length of the scale, if I am saying the length of the scale is, suppose, 10 centimeter, the length of this duster. If I am saying the length of this duster is 10 centimeter. So what is this 10? 10 is the magnitude. 10 is known as magnitude, or the value of the quantity, and this centimeter is the unit. Centimeter is the unit. So the value, that means the magnitude of the physical quantity, this is given by the total, this is the total magnitude is given by, this is the numerical value. I will write down over here. Write down this formula. This is very important. How to define the physical quantity. How to define the physical quantity? It is given by magnitude of the physical quantities. That is given by numerical value multiplied by unit. Numerical value multiplied by unit. Okay. So the magnitude, suppose I want to find out the physical quantity or the measurement of the duster, that is 10 centimeter. If this is 10 centimeter, this is the numerical value 10 and centimeter is its unit. So the magnitude is given by numerical value multiplied by unit. So every magnitude, all the magnitude, whether it is mass, length, time, temperature, has a numerical value which is given by number and the unit which is given by alphabet. So the unit of length is meter. SI unit of length is meter and the SI unit of mass is kg. The SI unit of temperature is degree Celsius. The SI unit of time is second. So all these things you have learned. Now we will go to measurement of area. How do you find out, or how will you find out area? What do you mean by first area? You must have studied in your maths also. What is area? Area is the total surface enclosed by any closed surface. Closed figure. The total surface enclosed by closed figure. What do you mean by closed figure? Again, what is closed figure? That also you have studied in your maths. So what is closed figure? Closed figure is that figure which is formed by a point, or which has the same start point and the same end point. What do you mean by same start point and same end point? Suppose you have a circle. This is a closed figure. If you are starting to draw the circle from this point, you will go like this, you will go like this, and it will come to end at the same point O where you have started. You are starting from O, you are going like this, and it is coming to the end point at O. So which has the same start point O and the same end point, it is ending at O. So this, whenever you are touching that point over here at O, the circle becomes an enclosed figure. Similarly, square also, if it is an enclosed figure, you are starting from here to make a square, you are going like this, you are going like this, and you are again coming back to this point. That means the square is also an enclosed figure. In this way, square, rectangle, triangle and circle, all these are called enclosed figures. Okay. So enclosed, we need to find out the area of this enclosed figure. If it is not a closed figure, it is an open figure, you cannot find out the area, because open figure does not have a proper boundary. It is open, it can be open at any end, so its area can be indefinite. Okay, because it is not closing. If it is an open figure, that means if you are keeping it at open on this point, then the figure is not closed. That means it has an infinite area. Area cannot be defined for an open figure. Now, this is a square. We know that area of a square is side into side. That you already know. Area of the square is side into side. This is, I am not writing this because this is already given in page number in your book. In your book, in page number 8. See, all of you open page number 8 in your book. This table, you put a tick mark in this table. Here it is given, area of square is equal to side into side. The formula is given. Area of rectangle is equal to length into breadth. Area of triangle is equal to half of length of the base into height. Area of circle is equal to pi r square. Pi is a constant. So in this way, the areas of the regular shapes. These are regular shapes. Why? Because we know that the dimensions of side, we know the dimensions of radius, we know the dimensions of length and breadth, all the dimensions we know. So the area of the regular shapes we already know. It is given. Scientists have invented the area, they have come to the conclusion, and we are comfortable with it. So this page it is given, and here in page number 7, here the conversions of the units of length is given. Conversions of units of length of area. 1 centimeter square equals to 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. 1 kilometer square is equal to 10 to the power 6 meter square. 1 decameter square is equals to 10 to the power 2 meter square or 100 meter square. 1 hectare is equal to 10 to the power 4 meter square. In this way, these units are given. Similarly, this table you go through it, or you try to remember these conversions, and over there the formula. Here also 1 acre is equal to 1046.85 meters square. 1 hectare is equal to 2.471 acres. So this is on page 8, this conversion of acre and hectare, the conversions of centimeter, meter, kilometers on page 7, and this table is all the three given on page 8 is very important. Now we will move on to the area of irregular shapes. What do you mean by irregular shape? Suppose you have a leaf, or suppose you have this duster. Okay, suppose you have this duster. So it is an irregular shape. This does not have any shape. This does not have any particular shape of a square or a rectangle. So how will you find out the area of irregular shape? You are placing the leaf on a graph paper or on a squared paper, grid paper. This is also called grid paper, okay, because it is having grid, or you can say this is graph paper. Now this is an irregular shape. Suppose I have taken a leaf, okay, and whenever I am placing on a grid shaped page, it will cover it has some square shapes on the grid. So the leaf will cover some square shapes on the grid, and it will now what is the process to find out the area? It will have we can find out the approximate area, okay. You cannot find out the exact area. Why? Because some here the boundaries will be not equal everywhere, okay. So the boundaries are irregular in shape. Now you are placing the leaf on the graph paper, and now find out the squares, find out the number of full squares. How many full squares are there? This is the full square. This is almost full square only. This dot is over there left. This is the full square. This is the full square. This is also the full square. This is also partly is there left. Okay, these are full squares. This is small left, so almost full square, more than half. So this is full square. This portion is also more than half square. This is full square. This is also full square, and this is also full square. So how many full squares are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the leaf is covering 10 full squares. So there are 10 full squares on the leaf, and the remaining squares are almost half. Here you can count also. This is the boundary of the leaf. This is outside. This is the boundary of the leaf. This is the boundary of the leaf. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So note that this is not a full square, but this is not also half square covering. This is almost full square, almost more than half square. So the squares which are full squares or more than half squares you will count, okay, and that is 10. So area is 1 square. 1 square has a dimension of 1 centimeter square. So the formula is number of full squares multiplied by the dimension of 1 square. So the area is, write down the area. How to calculate area of the irregular shaped body is equal to number of full squares, number of full and more than full squares, more than half squares, number of full and more than half squares, multiplied with the dimension of, multiply, that is put a product sign, multiply with the, I am writing down the formula then over here, it will be very clear to you. I am writing down the formula. So it will be number of full and more than half squares multiplied by dimension of or area of one square. Okay, so this will give you 10 multiplied by 1 centimeter square, that is nothing but 10 centimeter square. So in this way we find out the area of irregular shaped body. Okay, now we will move to the measurement of volume. How will you find out the volume of a stone, suppose, or any object which the dimensions you do not know, that is irregular shape. For an irregular shaped object only, the dimensions are unknown to us. For an irregular shaped body, dimensions are unknown to us, and hence it becomes difficult for us to find out the area or to find out the volume of that particular thing, because that if the dimensions are not known to us, then how will you find out? It is not possible for us to find out, isn't it? So in that case, we are finding out the volume of the stone in a particular way. How will you find out? Suppose you are taking a glass of water. In a glass beaker you are taking water. Here in a glass beaker you are taking water. Okay, and you are taking the stone, tying it with a thread. So here you are taking the stone and tying it with a thread and putting it inside the glass tumbler. Here suppose measuring glass tumbler is, suppose 5 liter of water you are taking. Whenever you are putting the stone inside the water, there will be some increase in the water level, because the stone is occupying the space. I have told you that what is stone? Stone is a matter. It is an object, it is a material. So it will occupy some space. So whenever you are putting it inside the water glass beaker, it is occupying some space, and hence whenever it is inside the water molecules, the water molecules are far apart. They are having some space inside it. The intermolecular space is more in water. In there the stone is getting dipped inside the water, and hence there is a rise in the water level. And if there is a rise in water level, suppose water level has increased by 1 liter. So now if I am saying that the total, now the increased water level is 6 liter. That means the increased water level is 6 minus 5, that is 1 liter. So the volume of the stone is 1 liter. Now you cannot say that the stone is a liquid. You will have to find out the volume of the stone is cubic centimeter. So 1 liter is equal to 1000 cubic centimeter. So in this way 1000 cc. So the volume of the stone is 1000 cc. So in this way we are finding out the volume of the stone. Okay. So again on page number 9 you know what is the definition of volume. It is given over here. In the book also it is given the space occupied by an object. Any object which occupies the space in here is called the volume. Maybe it is liquid, maybe it is gas, maybe it is solid. So that I have told you regarding in the chapter matter in chemistry. Now the unit of volume, it is given over here. See, whatever is marked in green, that are important. So please go through the formulas of conversion, everything is given over here. So formulas of conversions, all the thing 1 meters per equal to 1 into 1 meter cube is equal to, what is the unit of volume? It is given in cubic meter or cubic centimeter. Cubic meter or cubic centimeter is the volume of any object or unit of any of the volume which you are measuring. It is a unit of volume. So cubic centimeter or cubic meter. Okay. So now we will revise what I have told you. We will wind up. I have told you what is the importance of measurement, what is measurement, and why is it important to us. Then how do you measure, what are the parameters needed for measurement, that is a numerical value and a unit. The magnitude of the physical quantity Q is given by numerical value N multiplied by unit, and then you have the measurement of different parameters such as length, mass, time and temperature, that you have studied, that you revise. What is length, what is mass? Length is the distance between 2 points, shortest distance between 2 points. Mass is a quantity of the matter contained in the object. Time is the interval between two events, and temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness. Now all these, length, mass, what is the SI unit of length? Meter. What is the SI unit of mass? Kg. What is the SI unit of time? Seconds. What is the SI unit of temperature? Degree Celsius. Then I have told you measurement of area. Under measurement of area you have regular shaped figures such as square, rectangle, triangle and circle. That formulas are already given over here in this table. Okay, that I have told you. And the measurement of irregular shaped object, that I have shown you by drawing a figure on a graph paper. How to calculate? You will calculate the total number of full squares and the total number of more than half squares, add them together, and then you will multiply it with the measurement of 1 square, area of 1 square, and then you will get the area, total area. Then you come to measurement of volume of a stone. Volume of a stone, how will you measure? That I am taking a glass beaker where I am taking some quantity of water, then I am dipping the stone in it, and the total volume, rise in the volume, increased volume in the water becomes the total volume after dipping the stone minus the previous volume of water. Difference of that gives me the volume of the stone. And then on page number 9 you have the unit of volume, that is given, relationship between meter cube and centimeter cube, that is also given. So try to go through this. Then we will come to measuring volume of liquids. There are various beakers, measuring cylinder, measuring beakers, burette, and oil dealers measure, that you will find in the petrol pump. This kind of cans you will find in the petrol pump where the oil dealers put the diesel or the petrol inside your vehicles. So these are the measuring jars where the measurements are given. See here the measurements are given 10, 20, 30, 40, all these are given in liters or milliliters. Okay, so that is used for the measurement of liquid because her measurements are already given over here. Using measuring cylinder also you can find out the measurement of volume. Similarly, using beaker also you can find out the measurement of volume. That we will be doing in the next class. Okay, so thank you class. You go and revise, you have a practice, you have noted down all the points what I have told, you mark it in the books, go through whatever I have taught you today, and for formulas, whatever there in the formulas of the regular shaped areas, figures, conversions, relationship between the units, all you go through whatever is given in the book. If you have any doubt, you write me in the comment section, I will answer them. Okay, so thank you class.